And it is a big night for NASCAR on FX. Other racing as well. Welcome to Concord, North Carolina, just north of Charlotte, the unofficial home office for stock car racing. Tonight, you'll see some great nighttime racing culminating in tonight's all-star event for Winston. We begin, though, with tonight's ARCA race, the EasyCare 100. And in the ARCA RE Series, you'll see some of racing's best up-and-coming drivers. Justin Labonte, Terry's son, Kerry Earnhardt, Junior's older brother, Jason Jarrett, and Stedman Marlin, all sons of big-name NASCAR drivers, will race tonight in the ARCA race, 67 laps or 1 hour, whichever comes first. As you get a look at our location, the Hollywood Hotel. We are trackside along with Jeff Hammond. I'm Chris Myers, and let's just get a quick thought on what the drivers, what's going through their minds as they gear up for tonight, the Winston Open. Really 5 series or segments of racing culminating with the big payoff. And you always tell me, when the money's big, the big names star.
They do. Right now, the guys are down there at their drivers' meeting, listening to some of the comments as they were going to the meeting, as everybody's talking about, well, what are you going to do? What are you going to do? Everybody right now is on the edge of their seats more than ever because they don't know what's going to happen to this racetrack. They didn't get a chance to practice last night, and this is a tough racetrack from daylight to dark, believe me.
All the big names will be gunning over the next 5 hours. We, of course, will be here. Leave it right on FX. You'll see the series of races capped off with the Winston. And it was a crazy go-nuts kind of day and night yesterday. Tony Stewart, Jeff Gordon, Rusty Wallace, all gearing up for the race. The Winston is a race for winners. And so if you come out on top of that, obviously you've won against the best. And the pit crews are tested. And they got a little bit of a test through yesterday and in the evening. And in a lot of the excitement, there were a few mishaps. Michael Waltrip having trouble there on the concrete, but he was okay. Jeff Burton actually had to finish in the darkness as the lights knocked out power. The Hollywood Hotel was lit up. The booth was crazy go nuts. Rusty's on the pole, and we'll be back here in a moment. Lowe's Motor Speedway, glad to have you with us. The ARCA race ready to go. 5 hours. Leave it here. Culminated with the Winston. So let's take you trackside as we get ready to race and the opening race festivities.
And now to honor our nation, please join national recording artist Dara Cupp for her rendition of America the Beautiful. Dara Cupp.
Oh, beautiful, for spacious skies, over amber ways of gray, o'er purple mountains, majesties, above the fruited plain. Shed his grace on thee, and he crowned thy good with brotherhood from sea to shining sea. Oh, beautiful, we've seen throughout the years, those out of pastures, cities undimmed by human tears. America, America, God shed his grace on thee, and he crowned thy good with brotherhood from sea to shining sea. America, America, God shed his grace on thee, and he crowned thy good with brotherhood from sea to shining sea. America,
Cup. And now to get things started in tonight's EasyCare Vehicle Services Contracts 100 for the most famous words in motorsports. Let's welcome back our Grand Marshal, Mr. Mark Arsenault. Mark, it's all yours.
Drivers, start your engines.
All right, no need for special effects when you've got engines revving here on FX. It's the beginning of a 5-hour marathon of racing. We go from Derek Cup singing to Winston Cup racing. Right now, ARCA Racing. Let's get out on the track at our Dick Bergman. Dick?
Thanks, Chris. There are two issues of strategy here tonight, and the first is simple survival to the checkered flag. There were two of these ARCA races here last year at Lowe's Motor Speedway. In both, fully a quarter of the field crashed out. Last October, guys were crashed before they even reached the starting line of the very first lap. So that's first. Survive the night with a whole car. Second, many of the teams seem to think that they can go the entire distance without a pit stop. Others think they need 2 tires. Others think they need 4. So pit strategy will be very interesting and very important. To Matt Yoakum.
Dick, in the fall of 1998, the late Adam Petty scored his first career ARCA win right here in Charlotte. Tonight, 4 drivers with famous racing last names start in rows 5, 6, and 7. Names like Justin Labonte, Jason Jarrett, Stedman Marlin, and Billy Venturini hope to follow in Adam's footsteps. All 4 are winless in ARCA competition, but all 4 are confident that can change tonight. To Chris Myers.
All right, Mike Joy, Darrell Waltrip, Larry McReynolds getting ready to call the ARCA race. Plenty of racing coming your way. Our pre-race show later. Stick around on FX. They'll be moving fast. Don't go away. FX welcomes you back as they're on the track. 38 drivers, 67 laps, or a 1-hour race, whichever comes first. And to call it for you, they'll be here all evening with us on FX. Mike, Larry, and Darrell up in the booth. Mike?
Thanks, Chris. Hi, everybody. The Automobile Race Club of America gets NASCAR's All-Star Night started out here. And, Darrell, you look down through this list, and there's a lot of familiar names like Labonte and Krenifus, and but they're not the people we know.
No, these are the sons of people we know. Lots of sons in this race, and rightfully so. You know, everybody's got to have a warm-up act. And this is the warm-up act for tonight's race. These guys put on a whale of a show. And what I like about this series is they run Charlotte. Next week they may run a mile dirt at Springfield, or they may be at a half mile in Salem, Indiana, or they may be on a quarter mile at Anderson. You just never know where these guys are going to race. They race everywhere, and they race a lot.
And Larry, some of these fellas would go to those different tracks with the same cars pretty much.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of these guys, this is their hobby. This is not their way of making a living. But these guys are fast. 10 of these cars qualified at over 180 miles an hour. Whoa. A lot of these are cars that was bought from Winston Cup teams. The only difference in these cars and Winston Cup cars, there are 70 pounds lighter on the right-hand side. And here at Charlotte, where the Winston Cup cars run a right side window and the right side window opening, these cars do not. They felt like they was fast enough without it because those windows will make them even run faster.
Well, you know, Larry, last year Ryan Newman in an ARCA car set the track record here. So we know these cars they're really fast. They got more horsepower than a Winston Cup car.
They're fast. This will be fun to watch. Here's a look at the ARCA RE starting grid for today's race. Tim Steele has his 4th Charlotte pole. He has 4 wins here. Stuart Kirby, who was 5th at Daytona. The teenager starts alongside the front row. David Keith, Mike Swaim Jr., 2nd generation driver there. His dad, former Dash champion. Yep, a couple of Mooresville boys there in row 3. Frank Kimmel, the defending series champ, and Andy Belmont, former dirt track driver from Pennsylvania, who's 3rd in points. There's a Labonte and a Jarrett in row 5, but it's Justin and Jason. Jerry Glanville, the coach, is here in row 6, and that's Sterling's son, Stedman. Billy Venturini, Bill Venturini's son, and Robert Burrows. They're in row 7. Robbie Benton, Ed Barrier, his dad, a famed modified driver in NASCAR. Mark Gibson's here, and Darrell Lanigan in the 9th row. Philip Krenifus, car owner and former Ford racing head Michael Krenifus' son, back there in row 10. Schaefer and Markle in 11. Stan Barrett's son Stanton with Larry Hollenbeck. Robbs and Morlock back at row 13. Damon Lusk, the former motocrosser with Chuck Weber. Todd Bauscher, the famed Jack Bauscher 21. And a look back through the rest of what will be a 38-car starting field. Now, a number of these cars will have to drop to the tail end of the field, Larry.
Yeah, we've got 4 cars. We've got the 95 car Stedman Marlin, the 25 car Billy Venturini, also the 53 car of Robert Burrows, and also the 66 of Stanton Barrett. In ARCA, even if you have an engine problem and you change engines, you have to go to the rear of the starting field. Also, the 4 car, Justin Labonte, stopped on pit road as the car was leaving to adjust his steering wheel. He has to start at the rear.